Welcome everybody to another interview by Rasenkin. Here we have the support from Saw, Ralara, and the top laner, Super Frank, after their semifinal victory over White Lightning.
Hi.
Hey,
Alright, let's jump right into it, guys. So for Picks and Bans game one, you guys are red side. Now, the bans for game one from White Lightning were Poppy, Braum, and Nidalee. And then you guys banned Lulu, Lux, Graves. What are your thoughts on those bans?
Well, we opted into the red side. I actually asked if we could take red side for whenever we had side choice, which was just first game, but it worked out because we got it first and last game because we wanted to have counter pick for Gunshin in the mid lane. Uh, it really was just super kind of just an easy draft, just focused spellbinding in mid lane off Lux and Lulu, who are two most supportive champions that she would probably play. Lulu was just a regular ban. You should always ban Lulu when you're purple side, and Lux was just a target ban. And then we also banned Graves because that's what Kianan was playing a lot of in that game. So we just kind of knocked, not that game, but recently, so we knocked him off of that. Their bans against us. We weren't actually planning on playing Poppy at all in that. We were actually just wanted Rammus or Nautilus, and we got the Nautilus pick. But beyond that, it was just a super kind of regular draft. I don't know why they banned Italy when they were on blue side when they could have taken that away from us.
Yeah, I was really curious. They banned Poppy all three games, and so I thought maybe you guys have
yeah.
been practicing it a lot. Frank, do you like the champion?
I mean, in solo queue, Nautilus is always banned, and Rammus is almost never a good pick. So I just played Poppy in solo queue, and my KD is pretty good on her. So that's the only thing I can think of, man.
hmm
And what about the Braum? The Braum was something that they picked up in games two and three, but they banned it this
We
one.
we weren't planning on playing Braum in that first game, regardless. The fact that they banned it away was probably because I play a lot of it when Muse and I go for a 2v2 lane, but we were actually, from the start, we've been practicing lane swaps since the beginning of the week. And honestly, we were just scrimming versus Spooky Midnight the entire week, and we lost like every scrim against them. We lost every scrim we played during the first this entire week before. So morale going into this was actually, I don't know if it was high or low, but we've lost like every scrim. We never actually usually win scrims too, which is the weird thing. So whenever we go into our games, I just kind of always like, okay, guys, even though we lost every scrim, we won every game on the weekend anyway, the week before this. So let's just go and do it again. And so we kind of did something similar to that.
Okay. Now, here we go into the picks. Now, first rotation, White Lightning picked that Alistair. What do you, like, why do you think they picked it?
It's just Alistar. It's just a solid pick. They thought they were probably 2v2, so Alistar in a 2v2 is pretty decent with his heal. And they just wanted to have some kind of initiation slash peel with a frontline, and that's what Alistar does. He's a low economy frontline that you just push R, and then all of a sudden you can't die for like 6 seconds.
Right. And
And
you can go.
no,
All right. So right after that Alistair pick, they've already got a strong support, and strong engage and tank, and immediately after, almost instant by you guys, you pick up the Thresh Elise. When I saw this, I was thinking this is a start of a pick composition, really strong. And what did you? What were your thoughts picking those two immediately?
we just wanted we wanted really early pressure because we were doing the lane swap. We plan to do a lane swap every single game, no matter what, because we, as as it was kind of seen, we're like the only team that does lane swaps. And if you don't do a lane swap correctly, you put yourself behind, and that's how the White Lightning got themselves behind. The second game, they got themselves they got like ahead because we messed up the lane swap. But the first game, we had the lane swap pretty perfectly, and it allowed us to get ahead. And we picked the least Thresh because it gave us this ability to make picks if we were doing the lane swap while rotating. And our goal was just to, if we were going to catch somebody off guard while lane swapping, or just have this early pressure, because we were always going to just keep moving as a team. And with the least Thresh, you could just cocoon or hook, and then follow it up again and just keep killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I don't know what their thoughts were going into this, but they lock in the Vi and the Lucian. Now Lucian, I can understand, like strong AD carry, put him with Alistair. You guys have a good power spike around 4 or 5, but then they picked the Vi. And can you tell me why they would pick this? And I understand she did receive some buffs on this patch, but nothing really big.
They picked they picked it without seeing our AD carry, I think, which was the weirdest thing because
Yep, they did.
they picked it without knowing what we had. And they might have just been going for a set team comp. They ended up playing
With the
LeBlanc.
Jarvan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LeBlanc
LeBlanc,
Jarvan.
Jarvan. They waited for the last
They
two
just wanted
picks.
to, yeah, LeBlanc, Jarvan, and Vi. They just wanted to, with Alistar, they just wanted to dumpster somebody really fast, which is what you saw when they kind of took fights against us. It was because they had the ability just to get on and dumpster one person, and that made it a disadvantage for us. So, I mean, it wasn't a terrible draft. It felt like he didn't have enough practice on Vi. And in lane swaps, Vi is kind of weird, but we also messed them up in that. So it just was just a weird game. I don't really agree with the Vi pick because she's not the most popular jungler right now. And there were so many better options, like they could have taken the Nidalee first.
Yeah,
But they
Gragas
banned
was
instead.
also open. They might have
Yeah,
been able to pick that.
Gragas would have been a better pick all around because they could have launched people into us, or Jarvan ult with Gragas ult, and then LeBlanc would probably just have won them a fight really easily.
All right. Now coming into your second rotation, Frank, you pick Rammus, and then Muse gets the Sivir. So already you guys have got really good pick, really strong front line, and then you guys have a low range AD carry who just wave clears. When I saw this, I was thinking split push comp. You guys have a great 4-man group, and then something else would be strong, and you guys ended up picking the Zed.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys have this plan coming into the game, Frank?
Not really, I would say. Like, we kind of did. Like, we either wanted to get Rammus or Nautilus. Like, those were the two champions we wanted to get really bad for us. And when we got the Rammus, we were just deciding on the AD carry that would go really well with our comp. And we're like, yo, Sivir, it just got buffed. She got the ulti. We can engage or disengage really well with that. So we just went with that, honestly.
Any thoughts, Ralara?
Well, when we had the Sivir and the Rammus, the Sivir pick was a little bit of a blindside, but it was just because we were lane swapping and we have the lane pressure as well as we could just speed up and pick. The discussion was that we would use Rammus to like flank in fights, which we really never got to do because he just split pushed the entire game and was just a brick wall. But we were gonna flank with the Rammus teleport Powerball, and just Sivir rushes them, and then they'd have to collapse or do something, and it just never panned out that way because we didn't have to.
And then they lock in the LeBlanc and Jarvan. We touched on how they just wanted to blow people up in instants, where we saw in one team fight. But then right after you guys pick up the Zed, and usually when I play this matchup, I'll pick the LeBlanc into the Zed because I feel that early game I can win the lane, even if post 6 I will start to lose. So Gunshin also really disrespectful for his build. Not even a hex drinker. Goes straight into Caulfield's Warhammer and then Ionian boots. And I was thinking this guy has balls. He did not
Yeah.
even go Maw.
Gunshin has something.
Gunshin
Yeah.
is crazy sometimes, man.
He's just
Like, I don't
crazy.
even know.
When he decides to play champions, it's usually we had the Zed pick for that really ahead of time because Gunshin's been playing a lot of Zed in solo
So
queue
he
and whatnot.
really strong pick right now.
Yeah, and the way that they play, that's why we took the red side for the first game, is because the way that they play with White Lightning is that they'll usually gravitate towards bot and top, and they really never help mid too much. And if they do, she's on a supportive champion, so it's not going to really help. Like that game, they had LeBlanc, so it was a little bit different. But we were going to have Gunshin play a lane where he can basically 1v1, which he did, spellbinding, and keep her out of the game for as long as possible, which he did. He kept her out of the game. And his build is just, I don't know, it's just Gunshin doing Gunshin things. I mean, like, Smite mid lane, like, who thinks of this? And it's just like Gunshin deciding that he
Oh,
wants
God.
to do something. Like, there's so many times we'll be, like, in scrims, and he'll be, like, last second, like, hey, Gunshin, what do you want to pick? I don't know, like, 1 second on the clock. He's like, get me Vel'Koz, and we're like, what? It's like, Faker played Vel'Koz, so I can too. What, Gunshin?
What are you talking about, man?
Smite Vel'Koz, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, that guy. I talked to him one time, and I asked him, "Oh, what's an Azir tip?" And he's like, "Yo, pick Azir, take Fervor." I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
alright,
man.
bro." And I did it, and you know, it did do pretty decent damage, but weird.
Yeah.
Gunshin thinks of the craziest shit sometimes, man. I swear.
He does. He thinks of these things, and it's hilarious. Like he has a strict like couple champions that I won't say that he doesn't want to play. So like we have to play around that, and it's just hilarious because he'll play like the most absurd shit ever, and you'll just be like, where did that come from? You won't play something that's meta, but you'll play that. That's weird, Gunshin. What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
This gunship
So
thing.
now, let's get into the actual game. So you guys picked the Remus, and then they had the Jarvan. Did that matchup lead you guys to um, lane swapping, or was that already set?
Like I said before, we really just wanted to lane swap against them all three games that we had because we just wanted to put it at a point where we can get out of lane phase without having to do a lane phase. Just take all the towers, and we practiced the lane swap, so we knew exactly what we had to do to get us through the situations. We've practiced it so many times, and we've watched so many VODs of like Korean and European and Chinese teams doing it that we kind of had an idea of what to do when it came around. So we just did it, and we knew how to execute it better and faster than White Lightning. So that's how we won. So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Oh no, you guys picked the lane swap already.
Like the lane swap, we
Mhm.
basically decided that Jarvan without any farm was going to be useless because he went. Didn't he go Thunderlords?
Yeah, he went Thunderlords in full damage.
Thunderlords. So he's
That
trying.
I saw a really weird build from him. I was like Ravenous Hydra, the new assassin item, Yomu's. I thought that was really heavy on the damage.
Really, all you have to do is build him like Fiora. You rush Titanic, and then a Black Cleaver, Dead Man's Plate, Guardian Angel, and then Bloodthirster probably or something like that. And
Yeah,
and you're done.
really
But,
strong.
like,
Yeah.
like we were loading into the match, right? And then I saw that he took Dunlords. I was like, this guy's gonna go full damage. Like, there's no denying that. If he's taking Dunlords, he's just gonna want to burst someone down with full damage items.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right. So then, so you guys start the lane swap. Now you said you guys were always gonna do the lane swap, but the Sivir and Thresh really strong. For like lane swaps, a lot of pressure. Thresh can roam down mid lane, pick up a kill, and Sivir just shoves it in and takes towers really fast.
Mhm.
So was that like something you thought of when you picked the Sivir?
Basically, is what we've also been practicing. Spooky Midnight used it against us once or twice in a couple scrims, and we decided that it's good wave clear and the ult's really good, and she's just a, like an all around good pick because she got buffed. So we'll just use that, and we were pretty set on getting a Zed, so we were gonna 1-3-1 or 1-4 anyway. So we needed some form of wave clear, so we went with that instead. Like Gunshin was willing to pick Zed into Lissandra. Even the last game, he's like, if she picks Lissandra again, I'm going Zed. I'm like, no, Gunshin, just go Ziggs.
All right.
Gotcha just likes going Zed, man.
It just likes going
Yeah,
Zed.
man, that's fun. All right. So Rammus top, Frank. Why did you pick it? Do you like playing Rammus?
Like honestly, like if there's a champion League of Legends that's just like super strong right now, I'll play it. It doesn't matter. Like I'll find it fun somehow, and it's just fun. Like just taunting people and like doing half their health because just Rammus, and I'm not doing anything to you.
There was one fight where he's like teleporting with his ult on at like inhib tower, and he's like killing the tower as he's trying to teleport away. And it's just,
yeah.
like, I'm watching this. I'm like Frank's killing the tower no matter what he's doing. He's just gonna teleport out and kill the tower, and his teleport gets canceled, and like Jarvan jumps on him, and he still kills the tower and almost kills Jarvan. And I was
Yeah,
like,
and then
oh,
he gets
God's sake.
away. He's like, oh, what a champion.
Yeah, I
Why,
was like, oh my
so
God.
why has Rammus become meta recently?
Because he's the top tank.
Like I don't know. I think it's because his ulti like it can split push really hard. Like as we just saw, like he wasn't even able to do anything. I was able to TP and still take out that tower. And like you just can't deal with him. Like if he's diving your backline, you can't ignore him because he's just gonna kill the entire team or the AD carry.
And
Yeah.
the removal of home guards as an item, like an enchantment, nerfed Rammus a little bit. But we just kind of went with it because no matter like they picked Jarvan, so like they picked it after us. But we knew like there's nobody in top lane that really can beat 1v1 a Rammus. Like all these top laners they could play, if they went Fiora, Quinn, anything, we would probably be able to just have Rammus sit there and kill and like split push. And if they went like Nautilus or Poppy, there's no way Nautilus or Poppy will ever kill a Rammus. Like there's like one or like two solid counters to Rammus that I won't say, and it was pretty obvious that they didn't play them, so we just went with it because it was open and it worked out way better than we could have hoped.
Alright. Now moving down to mid lane. Gunshin early game. He hits level 6 and immediately abuses it. So LeBlanc's still level 5. He goes in, gets the solo kill, gets out. Really flashy play. What made you guys decide to pick up Gunshin in the first place?
Gunshin was a long time ago. I've been on so many teams. Oh my god, it was a team that was just we were just playing ranked fives to get like diamond, and I had a bunch. It was a bunch of people. We were all like diamond one at the time. Gunshin was up there with us, and I used to play with Gunshin, and Gunshin was basically our sub the first week. Our first week we had Tai2 G, Flip, me, Gunshin, and Muse with Tonington subbing for me, and Tonington was also one of my friends from a team that I played with. We were swap out supports, so like either of us could fit the role really easily. So I just put him in because I believed in him, and he did pretty decent despite lagging his entire first game. Uh, Gunshin was supposed to only be a sub, and we were supposed to go back to N minus, but we were playing scrims, and N minus wasn't really doing too well. So I messaged him. I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Benito, how do you feel about yourself?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't feel too confident." I was like, how do you feel about yourself playing? He's like, I mean, if you guys went with Gunshin, it wouldn't be too bad. I was like, okay, if you want to join another team, Benito, I will let you. If you want me to drop you so that you can do something, I will let you. I'll support you. I'll give you recommendations if you want. Anything, because I like Benito. He's a good person. He's a friend of mine. So, but Gunshin is just a little bit better than him and has a wider champion pool. So we went with that. And the fact that if you look at our team as a whole, most of us play every single champion that's meta, which is one thing that a lot of teams in Premier League don't do, or any really in minor league too, is they don't play every champion. We've had pretty much games on almost every meta champion, whether we win or lose. So we know how to play them, we know how to play against them, and that's all we really needed. Was like Benito had a small champion pool, and Gunshin literally came in his first 2 days and like carried super hard. So we just went with Gunshin.
Yeah, I remember watching his Azir game way back at the start of the season. Really impressive, to be honest. All right. Okay, so after the lane swap pulled off, you and Muse are in the top lane, and out of nowhere, three-man gank, Jarvan, Vi, Alistar all come up, and you guys both die. Really hard to see on their team. Did you guys not respect the roam for them coming up because you guys had no vision in topside jungle, and that led to you guys losing tier 2, so...
If I remember this correctly, we just recalled after taking bot tower and went top, and they were and they were in position before us. I didn't get any chance. Like that game, I forgot to buy items, which was absolutely horrible. I went to go recall at one point, and I was like, and then Joe's like, "No, stay." And I was like, "Okay." Joe was Muse, by the way.
Okay.
We were like, "Okay, I'll just stay, I guess." And then we stayed, and we really don't need items in lane swap, so it didn't really affect us too much. And I went back and I was like, should I get Sightstone? Should I get Swiftness boots? And I had this like build I picked out, and then I was like, wait a second, I don't have Relic Shield, so I had to swap back. But when we came back and I go to put wards down, I saw Vi out of the corner of my eye in our jungle, and I didn't know if it was a spectator bug, I thought for a second, or just like my mind playing tricks on me, but I knew they were there, and I didn't have wards down. They just went faster than I could have. I should have just immediately put a ward, but that was good on them. They rotated faster than us and just went top before we could even get there. They were in position way before we could.
Yeah, you guys almost lost a lot. Luckily, you lost the 2 kills and the tier 2, but then you guys try to re-engage and fight. Gunshin almost goes down. Super Franks burns TP for nothing. Looked really bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So, what are comms
bad.
like?
Honestly, it depends. A lot of times, comms are pretty quiet. Besides me talking, it's just a lot of information being fed, and then a bunch of Gunshin talking to himself as he like tries to 1v1 like spellbinding, and me and Joe having a lot of communication. Well, with the team, me and Joe really don't talk to each other because we've been playing for like 3 years together, so we just kind of know what to do when we're near each other, which helps us a lot. It's just a lot of shot calling and like, okay, set this wave up, okay, set that wave up, so okay, go this way, put wards here, get ready to put vision here, this dragon's up in like a minute and a half, get ready for that. It's just a lot of macro calling from us. That's about it. Comms, sometimes it's a joke or two, like when Frank teleported at one fight and flanked them, I was like, is that super flank?
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
That's a good one. Super flank.
Alright.
Super.
Rod just likes to meme all the time.
I do.
Yeah, okay, I can tell. But, so you guys, start picking up good team fight wins, taking good fights. You guys had one really good one in the mid lane, 4-0, I think, and you guys take the dragon. Oh, actually, no, you guys don't take the dragon. You guys recall and then lose the dragon to the enemy team, I believe. So,
Yeah.
like, when that happens, does that, like, hurt your like mentality when like you get a good number of kills, but then you still can't get the objective?
No.
Not
No.
really.
Not really. The way we play is even if we don't take an objective, if we prep it or if we get it to a point where we can take it, any damage is damage, and we're always trying to move forward. As long as we don't like, even if we die, if they can't take any objectives off it, we're fine trading kills. We're always fine trading kills for objectives, even if it'll put us behind in gold, because in the end of the game, gold is important, kills are important, but the objectives on the map are more important. And if you could take like all outer towers and then like an inner or two, and then just stall without them taking really too much for this time and just scale up, it just kind of evens out. But if we can't take an objective, we just kind of back off, and we already have all the vision prepped in an area, so we can either re-go there or just have somebody stay near there and split push, or just group for another side and catch them off side. It felt like White Lightning had really, really weak macro play when we were playing against them. They didn't know what to do for the lane swap for the first game. The second game, they kind of had an answer for it, but like the first game, they had like no idea what to do, and they were slow taking everything.
Yeah.
So it just shows like a few things of them that they were not really too good at.
Yeah. Okay. So now you guys have built yourselves a lead, and you guys have taken towers and inhibs, and then all of a sudden, you guys rotate to bot tier 2. No, bot inhib, and you guys get washed. 3 for 2 trade. You guys get wombo comboed super hard by that Alistair Flash 4-man polarize.
Yeah.
The Jarvan 4-man knockup with the ulti. Ridiculous. When you guys lose a team fight like that, how do you guys feel?
They couldn't take any objectives off that. It was literally when we lost that team fight, we were like, oh, we're dead. And they were like, can they take anything? Not really. Did they take Baron off that? I can't remember. I don't think
I
they
don't
did.
think
No,
so.
I
No, they
think Baron
didn't.
was down.
Yeah, and they couldn't do anything off that. So if we lose a fight while being up in gold, trying to take an objective like that, it's like, okay, well, we can't do that again. And then I think we did it again, but then we just kind of learned against it, and we were just like, okay, let's not do that again for the third time. And then the third time is the most important test, because by that point, we're just like, okay, we're not doing it again. Good job, boys.
Yeah. And then pretty easily you guys closed the game out. Nothing much to say about the ending. You just collapsed, closed it. And then, so you guys are 1-up in the series. How do you feel right there? Confident?
I wanted to play Bard.
Ralara just wanted to play Bard.
I just wanted to
like-
play Bard, man. Come on. I was like, can I play Bard? And they're like, no, play Alistar. I was like, fuck, I want to play Bard.
Fucking troller dog. Okay.
Bard would have been so much better in that team comp, too. I would have been able to stop them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, Bard would have won us the game, man.
Bard would have won
Come
us
on.
that game, man. My Bard is a god.
Alright, so we walk into game 2 now. Bans. You guys are blue side. You guys banned the Lux, Lulu, and the Zillion. And I was like, Zillion? That's weird. And then red side bans, so White Lightning bans, Poppy, Rammus, and Nidalee. So the Respect Rammus ban coming out. The Nidalee ban, strong pick. They're red side now, so they do ban it. Instead of in blue side, they could have taken it. And then the Poppy again, which you've already stated you guys weren't planning on playing.
I mean, we could play it if it's up. Like, Frank's good on it. It's just there's better picks at this moment than Poppy. It's not like she's a terrible champion. It's just like there's so many other ones that do her job better, because she got like a slight nerf, I'm pretty sure, too.
It's like, why play Poppy when you can play Rammus, you know?
Oh.
Frank,
It is-
shut up. Stop giving them away stuff.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
no.
They know
Alright.
the strats.
So since you guys have already said that Rammus and Nautilus were your top 2 picks, I guess it starts to make sense why you first pick Nautilus, first rotation. And then right
He is a
after
first
that,
rotation.
is
Nautilus
first
should
rotation
be.
worthy?
He should be a first rotation pick right now, Nautilus.
100%.
Especially if Rammus is not picked, he should be a first rotation pick.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Academy League semifinals with the
Oh my god.
the
Backdoor
Backdoor?
Nautilus?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Ralara?
I wish I could be as amazing as that.
The one
you know?
thing you should know about me is I don't follow House Party too much.
Oh damn! Sorry.
No,
No,
I
the
know
front
that.
page of Reddit.
I know.
Yeah, that
I
thing was
I
everywhere.
think it was everywhere, man.
Yeah, man. Props to Senkin for putting it up. Nice.
That was you?
Yeah, I put it up.
Yo, shout out to that Nautilus for being a god. If you want, you can have Frank's spot.
Oh baby.
Yeah, man.
Orsov, please. All right. So next rotation, White Lightning, they pick up the Braum and the Graves, and I was really right at that point. I was like, what did this draft just do? Because in the first game, you guys had banned the Graves out, but you opt to ban the Zillion now, and they take and Braum was also banned in the first game by White Lightning. So they take both, and I was thinking Graves power pick, Braum really strong, and I was wondering what your response was going to be to this.
Honestly, it was a draft mistake. For some reason, we thought that she was gonna play Zillion, and we were like, "Oh no, don't let her play Zillion." So we were just like, "Okay." At this point, we thought we were gonna like, we didn't think we were gonna 2-0, but we were pretty confident. So we were like, "Okay, let's just end up banning her out in mid, let Gunshin kill her
It
and
was
stuff."
dang.
It was dank, but it didn't turn out to be as dank as we wanted it to be. Obviously, um, the Graves, we definitely should have kept the Graves banned because he did a lot that game, and that was obviously his comfort champion, considering that's all he played like the week before. Uh, Shout out to Hugo for doing like last minute scouting for us, like up until like the game of who was playing what and how many times.
Oh yeah, we probably would have even banned the Graves game one if we didn't know about all that stuff.
So when I say that Hugo doesn't do anything for us, I may be understating a little bit. He does a little bit
Just
for
a
us.
little
Alright, so right after they pick the Braum and the Graves, you pick up Elise, so a repeat from the prior game, and then the Lucian, which I thought was decent at the time. I was like, okay, strong, scaling AD carry, does a lot of damage, strong early game, strong mid game, strong late game, and like Mew should have fun winning his lane with this champion. And right after that, they pick the Malphite Caitlyn. And I was thinking, okay, this game's not going to go well. Because they have two huge
No.
front lines with Braum Malphite. They have insane damage with Graves. And they have Siege with Caitlyn. Long range, super safe AD carry. And you guys have already picked Nautilus Elise. So you picked your top in jungle. And I was thinking, this isn't too much threat on Caitlyn.
Yeah, and we thought they were gonna pick Oriana. So our first instinct was Gunshin, steal away that Oriana right now. And it wasn't
Oh my
Gunshin,
God.
can you play Oriana? It was Gunshin, can you steal away the Oriana? Because we haven't played with Gunshin playing Oriana really at all. And that was probably our first mistake in that game. Second mistake. First mistake was giving them Graves. That's probably why we lost, just because of the poor pick from that, like the poor like letting Graves through and taking Oriana instead of something Gunshin was comfortable on.
Yeah, and then you take the Alistair really late into the draft. I expect Alistair to pick a little earlier, but some things I expected Alistair to be picked over an AD carry, like Lucian. But I thought that was a little weird.
It's because they have their support pick, so we don't need to show our support yet, and we were still kind of leaning towards the Braum in that the Bard in that situation. So we were like, okay, what should we do? I was like, I kind of want to play Bard right now, and then we picked our jungle and top lane and AD carry first because then we have like free reign. Because AD carry pick really doesn't matter in lane swap that much because you're not going to be 2v2. You just pick an AD carry that'll be good for a certain period of the time that you're aiming for in the game that I'm not going to give away to other teams who don't know how to lane swap. Uh, and it was just a minor draft mistake by us. We should have took away the Braum first pick, honestly.
Okay, and then the last pick from them, I thought this was like nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Really strong team comp, the Lysandra. So we look at these drafts and we see you guys had the short range AD carry with a decent team fight mid laner, strong tank line, and then a ranged jungler with Elise who can get picks. But I didn't really see a really, really definitive purpose for the team comp. And I look at White Lightning and all I see is hard engage, siege, damage. And
Yeah.
you guys, going into the game, did you think your draft was wrong?
Yeah, not into the game. We were kind of okay going into it, but like once we started losing, we were like, wait a second, we did something wrong, and we had to figure it out. And it was the Oriana pick and letting Graves through. The Graves did a lot of work in a couple of team fights. His smoke screen was actually really good. He kept using really good smoke screens to the point where I as Alistar and I think a couple other people on the team couldn't see where they were initiating, so I couldn't peel. Like there's a couple of fights where spellbinding goes in with her her E, and I would just like knock her up immediately as soon as she went in. But like when I can't see Malphite, I can't stop Malphite, And that's how they would just go in. They would just immediately ult on us and just like wombo combo and just like goon squad, like clown fiesta us. That was that game basically. That game was a clown fiesta if I've ever seen one in House Party.
All right.
Yeah.
And we kept making it even more of a clown fiesta by trying to fight them over and over.
Yeah.
It's like they have a comp that just goes in on us. Hey, how about we just keep on team fighting them every single time we get?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, I didn't really see any really big way for you guys to make a comeback unless you got like a really good Orianna ulti before they engaged. But
Yeah.
even then, after that, they could engage and just wombo you guys down. But
There was we also had a mistake in our lane swap where we didn't hit the tower. Like Joe didn't hit the tower one more time, or I didn't hit the tower one more time, and this made it so that Frank couldn't kill the tower on the wave he had, which we should have been able to do.
Noticed it.
It was very noticeable.
Yeah, like it was like he takes almost 2 tower shots and then the wave's just like there and he has to like push it in himself. It looked really pretty sloppy considering that the White Lightning took the tower before you guys did, even though you guys
Yeah.
had the initiative on the lane swap.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, you guys started like kind of fell behind from that.
Yeah,
that
that-
lane swap.
That put us off tempo. When we couldn't take that, we were off tempo, and then they pretty sure in that game their bot lane stayed bot. I'm not sure. No, we tried to dive somebody, I think, or it didn't work out. I can't.
I don't.
That
No.
game, you guys grouped up a lot. You guys like went 4-man bot, so their bot did go bot lane, and then you guys also went bot. But then
Oh,
after that, it was pretty weird stuff going on in the bot lane. You guys tried to 4-man group and take the tower, it just wasn't working out.
Yeah, we want to take the tower. We got it pretty chunked too, and we should have just kind of gave up and went back top and like went back bot when it was time or let Frank split push. But it was just a really bad kind of macro calling by me as well as stuff. So I take the blame for that game.
Okay. And then also in the early game, you guys had, I don't know how it came about, but you guys had really low vision in the early game. Maybe this is a mistake from Gunshin. Maybe this is a mistake from jungler and support not putting out wards for him. But he gets ganked once, has to blow his flash, and then he gets ganked a second time, and then just dies. Like, is this an issue with Gunshin not warding, or is it just
Well,
you guys not working
there's-
together?
There's no way for Gunshin to ward. That's the thing. And I will forever blame Riot for changing vision to be so bad as it is right now.
Oh my god.
The fact that
terrible.
you can't buy a green ward and the fact that you can't change your trinket to be green or pink wards is just so bad. The fact that now the most vision you can have on the map that you should have on the map, unless Gunshin's running Smite mid, is 5 wards that from Sightstone type things, and then 5 pink wards. So you could have 10 wards on the map at a time. If we're being real, you're going to have about 7 because the jungle and the support will keep their pink wards up, and then everybody else will not buy them once they get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in previous seasons, warding was ridiculous. Like season 3, you just had the entire map covered.
Oh,
Season-
Season 3, I used
Yeah,
to not buy
pretty
any
much.
items. Used to buy gold per 10 and just run into the enemy jungle and throw all your wards down, and you're like, okay.
Yep.
And you, yep. Yeah.
Season
Now we know
4
everything.
Season
that's
4
it.
was okay with vision wise. Some teams abused it incredibly hard. If you remember Samsung White with their vision control, ridiculous motto,
Oh,
so
God.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's the thing, too, is vision control is very important in these games, and when we don't have vision control, we kind of faltered in the games, but when we did have vision control, we could make the correct calls. That was the kind of difference, too, in those games. 'Cause
Yeah.
once you fall behind, it's hard to get the vision control down without dying.
And then, okay, so moving into one specific play on the map that happened. Graves comes top lane. There are 2 people top, so it's the Nautilus and the Elise top lane, and she's trying to recall after taking, I believe,
Oh my
Rift
god. I
Herald.
remember that. Yeah. Rift
And
Herald.
bot lane starts 2v2ing. And literally almost at the exact same time, 4 people die on Saw, and then immediately Gold Lead jumps to 2k for White Lightning. Did you guys think it was really big how Graves is level 6, Elise is level 6, their bot lane just dumpsters you guys in that 2v2, and you guys just lose so much pressure on the map?
It was just mistakes.
Yeah. It was just a whole bunch of mistakes. Like
It was just us being overconfident in certain situations after we won that first game so convincingly against them. Just the second game was just a giant clown fiesta, like I said earlier. Oops.
Okay. And then later on, you guys, after that, so maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes later into the game, you guys take a fight around Dragon, in the choke, but in the ramp, going up to blue buff, and you guys lose the team fight 5-0. At that point, do you guys just think this is over?
Uh,
It wasn't really so much as this is over as that fuck now they're ahead with this comp that we can't really play against at this point. We got into a little bit of a desperation mode, which is why we kept trying to fight so much with my calls too. That fight we were so split up that we were they kind of abused the fact that they have like 3 different initiations. That's like Braum kind of has his ult and a choke, and then Malphite and Lissandra. We just couldn't deal with them, and from there on, it was just sloppy team fighting and execution of situations that kind of got us behind. So we probably could have come back in that game if we kind of just stalled it out a little bit and waited for us to hit like item breakpoints, but we didn't, and that's why we lost.
Okay. And then, basically, the game-ending play, Kiona comes in with a really good triple kill. At that point, you guys are just like, alright, guess it's over. Since you guys make a desperation play to get onto them, but it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. At this point, we were talking about around that point. We were kind of like trying to figure out what for next game we wanted to do. We were using that game kind of just a little bit to figure out what to do. We were like, okay, pick bans. Probably should have keep Graves banned because that was one of the only champions that Kennen was like impactful and like that entire series was Graves. And so we just banned it out.
it again.
Yeah. It wasn't a good idea to leave it open. His Graves was pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely a mistake by us.
Yeah, we would have probably won that second game if we didn't mess up draft. And lane swap, but mostly draft.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are putting it not too... Well, it seemed like there was a lot of individual mistakes in the early game, and then a lot of pretty big errors in the draft. So would you put it down to both?
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was being misplays, not even outplays, but misplays and draft.
So you're putting the issue on yourselves, not on White Lightning taking the initiative or acting correctly?
They did that correctly, but we acted incorrectly to how they did. The way we responded to situations they presented to us, we acted incorrectly. That fight where we lost and we get 5-0, we were split up against a team comp, but we shouldn't be trying to fight near Dragon. We should have... We did things incorrectly more so. We should have backed off, conceded, let them go on Dragon, and then initiate while they're on Dragon if we wanted to fight. But instead we tried to fight before Dragon. And that's just... That game was actually a little bit reminiscent of scrims, of how we play scrims, which is like lose game in 10 minutes and then go play another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoops.
It was very unfortunate. That's all you can say after a game like that. Like, whoops. You know.
All we could say was whoops. Go to the bathroom, come back. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
thing we weren't too mentally fatigued at this point to play, and we just kind of
Oh,
kept
yeah.
going through it.
Yeah, man. Like, I was so mentally fatigued after that game. Like, I was like, oh my god, I'm so done. I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, man. At that point, I was like, this game's so over. We're gonna lose this game. I'm so mentally fatigued that I can't play anymore.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
man.
right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Three games and like back to back. I can't do it.
3
It's too
games,
much.
3 hours. Who's like heard of that? Oh my god.
What the heck? Honestly, I've gone like 10 hours in a row just playing. But
Oh, I know.
like-
We're joking.
Oh, what the heck?
There was the week before that, or 2 weeks before that, when we were playing the weekend where we played 3 games. One of the teams FF'd. We played the first game and we like stomped. I forgot who we played. Then we played the second
White
game.
Lightning.
White Lightning, and the casters were like, "I hope Saw isn't so mentally fatigued from their first game for this next game coming up." And we were just like, "Wow, we're so mentally fatigued from playing 2 games in a row."
Yeah.
Like honestly, we're just a bunch of memers in some man. Come on.
Come on, man.
nice
That's all we
meme.
are.
We fucking even Gunshin started memeing. That's how we know.
Everyone's just a memer now.
Okay. So then for game 3, you guys go into the game. You guys are red side again. And
Yeah.
the White Lightning bans are Poppy, Ramus, Nidalee. Same as the last game, so they've kept the same strategy that they used to win. And then you guys ban the Lulu and the Lux, and you go back to the Graves ban.
Yeah.
Definitely a really big issue for you guys?
Yeah, it's just more just getting Kianan off his comfort champion, which him playing that allows Alcantos to play a top tank, which in that case just gives them a way to initiate. If they can't initiate, they're gonna be pretty far behind because White Lightning really didn't play the map too well in those games. They just kind of tried to group and fight us, and every time they won a fight was because they grouped and just kind of like caught one of us or just kind of womboed us. Like if you realized, whenever we lost the fight in that first and second game, it's because they just dropped all their ults onto like Gunshin and Muse because that's what they could do. There's AoE ults and they just go in and just like pick one person, two people to die. But like the third game, we didn't let them have that, and it played out completely different.
Okay, so now the White Lightning, they're blue side, so they get first rotation, and they first rotation the Braum, and yeah, it was pretty strong, pretty good pick in their game. Do you agree with the first pick?
I mean, it's not first pick worthy, Braum. We weren't even aiming to play Braum at all, and the fact that we had first pick and Braum wasn't taken when it was open kind of showed that we didn't want Braum. Uh, this kind of just gave us free reign over whatever we wanted to pick. If you pick support first, it's not a terrible idea. It just kind of, when you're blue side and you do that, the fact that you're on blue side means you want to first pick something that's super really good and then just take it. On red side, we're just trying to leave open as many OP picks as possible while target banning, which is what we did. And they left open. I think we took Rek'Sai and Thresh,
Yeah, you did. You took
which
Thresh and Rek'Sai.
they're not super OP champions, but they don't show exactly what we want to do in our team fights yet. Like we picked Thresh, like nobody in House Party respects my Thresh, but it's my most played champion with like 1,000 games over the past like 3 seasons, and they kind of paid. That's what White Lightning didn't respect it the first game when we were like taking their outer tower, and I just hooked. I forgot whatever his name is. The guy that his name begins with the K. That's not the jungler.
Kiona.
Kiona. Yeah, I hooked Kiona.
Yeah.
We hooked Kiona, and then from there we just kind of took tower and just won the game from that. And it kind of happened similarly, where just like if you put me on a champion that can make plays as support, like Thresh, I'll do it. I did it that third game. Like even that first game, like I had Thresh, we had Ward, and I watched as Spellbinding used her W and her ult to kill the Razorbeaks, and I just like sprinted towards her on Thresh, flashed, and like didn't let her get through. It just kind of gave us an easy draft. I don't really think first picking Braum is super important. I'd rather first pick a jungler,
Mhm.
but I'm not White Lightning, and White Lightning is super bot lane focused team.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why they did that. They wanted somebody to win the trades, and Braum isn't a terrible pick, but it's not something I'd first pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. So their next rotation, their second rotation, they take the Caitlyn. So they take in the Braum, same pick from last game. The Caitlyn, same pick from last game, and then they take the Nautilus from you guys. Did you think? Were you guys actually thinking about playing the Nautilus, or were you thinking? You know.
Dave, what was the thought that game, Frank? Were we trying to bait Nautilus? No, we think we wanted it.
I don't think we were trying to bait Nautilus. I think what the plan was just like if they picked Nautilus, I know like so many champs into it, so it was kind of a bait in that sense.
Yeah.
So we just wanted them to pick Nautilus, and if they did, I know so many champs that do so well into that matchup.
Yeah, like
and then-
Frank was literally like, he's like, should I play Fiora or Trundle here? And we were like, let's do Trundle. We need frontline.
Yeah.
And that's like number one counter to Nautilus.
Yeah. I was thinking like Trundle. That's pretty cool because it gives you a lot of spirit push pressure. It gets pretty tanky. It does a lot of damage, and it like shreds tanks in a team fight.
Yeah, he has this 1v1 split push potential that like he can not only like deny. They had like Nautilus and Braum and whatnot. At this point, we just wanted to be able to deny their engage, which is why we had like Thresh and like Ziggs and Trundle. We just literally set up like pillar, box, hook, flay, or like Ziggs, bombs, and then they just can't really engage on us.
Yeah, and then you take the Ezreal. So I'm looking at this composition. I see a good split pusher. I see a good early game jungler, and I see a playmaking support, followed by poke 80k. So I was really wondering what you guys were gonna do with this composition to round it out.
Siege.
Siege?
Siege.
Definitely, the Trundle definitely
Siege.
gives a lot of siege potential with the pillar. What is it, a 40% slow? I think it is.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around there.
It was literally we built our team comp so that we could 1-4. We'd have this wave clear so that they could never push in and try to take a tower, and then we could poke them too while they're trying to fight us and just back off and let Frank just 1v1 his way. That game was literally just showing everybody that Frank is the worst member on Saw to the point that he could solo carry us in like a 1v1 split push by solo killing Alcanthos and then just
Not
continuing
once,
the push
but twice.
twice.
Yeah. And
Oops.
yeah, their third rotation, they lock in the Lissandra, so same as the last game, and then they take the new Gragas pick. Something that hasn't been shown this whole series, but has been played a lot recently in solo queue and a lot recently in other leagues. So do you think Gragas is strong?
He's strong, but in that situation, Gragas pick into Trundle, Thresh, Trundle, Thresh, Trundle, Thresh,
Come on, Ralara.
Ezreal, and Rek'Sai. There's nothing he can do. If he tries to engage, we have me and Trundle and Ezreal all have a way to either get away from him or like stop his engage. I can flay him, I can hook him, and if somebody gets launched away, I just lantern them. It was just we drafted a comp that had a way to deal with everything they wanted to deal with us, and we just needed to hit mid game. Like our mid game was better than their mid game because we had Trundle. Trundle's mid game, like Trundle just scales so well between mid and late game because he has the ability to see a tank and then become that tank. He's like, I want to be that guy, and he just ults them, and now sudden Frank's Nautilus, and now Nautilus might as well be support Nautilus running in at us, and he just kind of kite him
Yeah,
backwards.
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So now we move on to the actual game. So this time, White Lightning counters the lane swap, and you guys have a 2v2 in the top lane, and you guys get majorly shoved in. Did you think this might have happened, or did you expect them to try and counteract the lane swap?
We had deep vision. We knew that they wanted. We knew that they knew that we wanted to lane swap, which is why Joe and I invaded for that ward, and we kind of saw them. But I'm pretty sure they messed up the lane swap because we knew where they were, and we had Trundle in bot side jungle with Rek'Sai. So all we did was send Trundle to lane and have him shove it in super hard while Nautilus was double jungling. And even though we missed CS top lane and got put behind a little bit, it put their Nautilus so far behind in his lane swap that he couldn't do anything. It was just literally, he got zoned from so much experience. Frank hit level 6 way before he hit level 6.
Yep, definitely.
And he just had, in a lane matchup that already favors Nautilus, he just kind of snowballed it even further because of it. No, not Nautilus, Trundle. Yeah, that's what. I'm sorry. It favors Trundle so much because Trundle just kills tanks, and his sustain is ridiculous, as well as his like 1v1 dueling. It's just put us behind. Like there was one point where he even got ganked by Gragas, and he was like, "Wait, let me finish killing this Nautilus, and then I'll run back to my tower after I kill him. Okay, just wait over there, Gragas. Don't worry about me."
Yeah,
Like, it's just like ults me away. I'm like, hey, thanks. Now I don't
You're
know how
like,
to use
but
flash.
nah,
or
yeah.
anything.
You're like,
Mhm.
peace.
Peace. The casters we're talking about that big misplay, but it's more like if he had ulted you in the tower, you were still gonna be out because you had flash.
It's like I'm in tower now. Oh wait, I have flash by. You know,
Yeah,
like-
peace out. Yeah.
Plus, he just killed Nautilus.
At the
He just
second
got-
time.
He just
Yeah,
got
the
so
second
much
time.
health back already. Even if he died 1 for 2, it's already worth because the wave was pushed towards his tower, Nautilus's tower, that it would have either
Yep,
it would have built up
jungler
against him.
either pushes it and he loses XP, or he just loses XP under tower.
Yeah, it was just already in our advantage. And at that point, because Frank was able to like 1v1, 1v2, all Flip had to do was follow us around the map. All DMX had to do was follow us around the map and just give us a little bit of pressure, which he did, and just keep invading and stealing Gragas' camps. That's what he did. And then from there, we just played the objective game. We didn't try to fight their Lissandra. They had a team comp that would beat us 1v1, so we were like, yeah, let's not fight. And we just took the map and played it to the point where any fight that they wanted to go for us was just like, no, like they couldn't do it. Just go away from us. Stop. We don't want to fight you.
Yep, and I don't know, but at one point, so when both bot lanes show back up to bot lane, it happens where you guys just completely collapse onto White Lightning, their bot lane. and then their top laner TP's in, but you have your TP and your jungler there. So it is a 4v3, and you guys clean house. 3-0. Was that planned, or was that heat of the moment? They're out of position, and they don't have a tower.
I'm trying to remember this. I'm trying to remember this fight. Really
Yeah,
badly.
I remember it. So what happened was they were bot lane and they were over positioning in a long lane already. So DMX was just telling me, "Yo, I'm just gonna place a ward behind them, and then you just TP in." So then that's what we did, and then the Nautilus TP'd in too for whatever reason, and we just like destroyed them all, like you said.
Yeah, I remember this fight now. Nautilus was so far behind. The fact that White Lightning was so overextended, that's another thing that shows their lack of macro play in that match, as well as experience with lane swap, because they're so overextended without a tower. They have to run from our tower to their tower in the inner to get away. And we have Trundle, Ezreal, Rek'Sai, Thresh, and all they have is Nautilus, who is their 8-8 Caitlyn, and Braum. They have no way to get away from us further. It was literally just an easy group of kills. And then Frank had this awesome Trundle pillar where he stopped Nautilus escape, and I was just like, oh, Frank's a god.
Super.
Super Frank.
I think the exact words are, "Is that Super Frank?"
Oh man.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure when he got the first solo kill, I was like, "Is that Super Frank with a solo kill?"
Back at it again with the solo kill.
Back at it again.
Another, and then you got another one.
Another one. Ooh, the
Another
memes. The memes.
Dude, like I said, we're nothing but memers and stuff.
Okay. And then moving on, you guys just have some really good team fights. 22-23 minutes of the game, really clean game. So those were the big points during the game. You guys get the collapse. You guys are like 5-1 now, in kill score, and it just seems like you guys have control of the game. Map play was really good, and then they really didn't have anything to do.
That's because their team comp sucks when trying to play from behind. Lissandra doesn't want to try to play from behind. Neither does Caitlyn. Caitlyn, Lissandra, and like Nautilus all want to have an advantage, especially when Caitlyn's up against like an Ezreal who just doesn't even have to deal with her bullshit by just like staying super far back, like further
And
back than
pressing
Caitlyn
Q.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, just press Q and just press Q. Gunshin, you press Q now. Oh my god, now you press Q, Joe. Now Gunshin, you press it. Oh my god, look at all the poke we have.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Oh, my god,
guys.
we want to fight.
It's like, oh my god, guys, there's a wave at that tower. Joe or Gunshin ult it right now. Like there was one fight where there was a big wave on top tower and we were like bot wave, or like we were near dragon and Gunshin's like, I'm gonna ult top, and he runs all the way top, ults top, and then runs all the way to dragon, and we secure dragon while Gunshin's gone, and they had no vision to see him do this, and we even threw like a Ziggs bomb and they could have engaged on us, but it was just like at this point we had the vision control and we had like all these different picks that would have led us to disengage, that we just drafted better. Like if Lissandra is coming in, like there's even situations Lissandra like eat in one time at like a desperation fight with a top lane where they lost. She ease in and they try to wombo combo like Joe, which is absolutely so dumb. I hooked her as she comes out of like her E, like immediately. She didn't get to use any abilities, and I fly her back, and it's just like from there, it's just like okay. We just had the second game we had no way to deal with their team comp, and then the third game we were just like okay, now we have every way to deal with their team comp. What should we do? And it was just trusted your team to do the right thing. I'm gonna cry.
So yeah, later on, so you guys had one really weird team fight where you get caught out, right? And then you flash over that wall.
That was
mid
planned.
lane.
That was all planned.
All
That
planned.
was all planned. No,
Yeah,
it was
that
it was literally-
happens, and literally, Lissandra, super greedy, ease over the wall to follow you, and then hooked and just doesn't do anything. You guys take an amazing team fight there. It's just you guys are peeling back perfectly and then re-engaging at the perfect moment, and you chase them all the way down to their inhib tower and take the 5. Actually, you take 4-0, and then
I actually have
that game
I
pretty
had
much over.
plays.tv. I'm gonna plays.tv that actually. That was literally like, hey, it's like, oh god, I'm so
Ralara.
caught. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not dead yet. I'm like, all the kills are on Gragas. I'm just like, I exhaust Lissandra, I throw my shield on myself, and I boxed, and I'm just like I can get to this wall and just flash over it. And now I'm just like, okay, they just blew everything on me, and now we just have to win a fight.
Yeah.
It was just super bad by them, especially super bad to blow everything. They have Gragas, Braum, Caitlyn,
Lissandra, Nautilus.
Lissandra, Nautilus. You don't need to use Lissandra ult to kill me. Like, why did they do that? All you do is Nautilus auto attack, Braum passive, Lissandra at W. I should be dead by the time 3 CCs wear off. And if I'm not, Caitlyn just keeps layering traps under me this entire time and getting headshots off. They just played that so bad that they let me come out alive.
Yeah, it seems pretty suckish for them. And then, so you know, you guys closed the game out pretty cleanly, and now you guys are in the finals. You guys are gonna go against Never Clucky,
Yay.
the newcomers. It's their first season here. How many seasons
Or like
have
Never
you guys?
Lucky.
Never Lucky. Nice.
I've only played one finals, but this is everybody except for Flip's first season.
Flips?
DMX.
Oh, okay. I was wondering who the heck.
Flipsy?
Flipsy.
Change the name.
Oh, okay.
No, Flipsy is DMX. But DMX and I were on the team last season. He got reinvigorated with his name change, as did Super Frank. Super Frank went from Feels Bad 99, the Graves top, to like Super Frank plays every single champion,
Nice.
and is still somehow the worst member on our team.
Oh man.
I won't let that meme die. He
Nice
hates it
one.
too.
So
No,
now
I love it, man.
Saul,
You got so mad at me.
so Saul comes in as number 1 seed in the finals. So, what are your plans going in?
Lane swap.
Always lane swap.
Always
That's
lane
all,
swap.
that's all we do
No,
now.
At the moment, we're pretty sure this season we're 2-0 against Never Clucky with their real roster. If this roster isn't an upgrade, I gotta do some scout work, but I have 2 weeks to do that. Like I said, I have no idea who plays what. Like there's few teams who I know actually who the players are in Premier League, and that's White Lightning and White Lightning and like Spooky Midnight because we scrimmed them like 20 times, and then White Lightning again because.
Nice.
But our plan is just to scout, watch VODs that we have of them. Not any scrim VODs, just in case anybody's wondering. And just kind of watch how they play and what they draft, what they prioritize. Not let their top laner, I think it was Nautilus, get Nautilus. And not
Callisto.
not have.
They had a really strong Callisto player. Just could not
Oh,
die.
that's right.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm not afraid of Callisto.
Does Muse play it at all? Because I think Callisto's pretty strong, but you guys didn't play in any of the games.
He just plays every champion.
Okay.
It's just what we tell him what to play, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll play this, I guess.
Muse's best
Pretty much.
champions are out of meta right now. Muse's best champions are like Ashe,
And
Vayne,
Ash. Yeah.
Draven.
Oh my god, I was such a big Draven player back
Who
in
else
the
does he
day.
play a lot of? He plays a lot of Jinx.
Mm.
He's just really good on a bunch of champions. He actually plays Quinn AD carry too,
Really?
which is
Yeah,
hilarious.
Killer dog.
Yeah, but not with us in solo queue, I think, or he plays at top or something. But it's just literally like, it's just our team. We play every champion basically, so like, it's not what we play; it's like what we want to play. And we have practice running almost every kind of team comp with like every champion. Like we played almost every champion top deck. We played like every single champion in AD carry that we could think of. Like we have practice with almost every single comp. It's just what do we think will be good in the draft when we play Never Clucky. And as much as I like to say we're gonna go 5-0 against them in the season, I'll call it
5-0.
I'll call it 5-1, 5-2.
Okay.
I think they'll be decent.
Close series.
We didn't really give away. We didn't really give away too much of our strategies or what we do in that game. We were just like, okay, we practiced lane swap for 1 week straight. Now what?
Lane swap.
Lane swap.
Lane swap. Lane swap.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
It's so easy. Oh my god. I think we watched like a Korean team who did like a perfect lane swap and won the game just through the lane swap alone, and we watched that together as a team bonding experience, and we were just like, okay,
That
now
should
we
be
just
us.
now we just gotta play that. Should be us. And then we played a scrim. We played a scrim for a Spooky Midnight, and we did it perfectly. And then we threw the game at the end. Somehow we just couldn't come. We were like up so far ahead, and we were just like, okay,
Nice.
Yo, we never win at scrims. Never win.
Never win.
Never lucky.
never lucky.
Never
in
clucky.
scrims.
Never clucky. Alright, guys. I appreciate
Well,
the interview
it's
very
like-
much. Any shout-outs, plugs, sponsors you want to call out?
Shout out to Muse and Gunshin and I guess Flip. Shout out to
I
Super,
guess.
shout out to Super Frank in the top lane. Shout out to Jetrix for messaging me for scrims every day. Shout out to that support laner for that one team that has what's his name? This is just a little bit of BM coming out. Hold on a
Oh,
second.
baby.
I have no idea.
I have no idea what
He
you're
waits
talking
until the end for BM. He waits
Oh
till the
my
very
God.
end.
Hold on, give me a
Classic
sec.
Laura.
about. Drop the BM.
I'm dropping it. I gotta figure out his name because he's so irrelevant that I don't even know his name.
Oh my god. What team does he play for?
Shout out to 909101 for trash talking me on the Reddit and then not making it through quarterfinals as well as being a terrible support.
Oh, baby. That's BM.
If you think you're good and you can't do anything with your team, there's something wrong. That's my BM. Sorry, and I'm not sorry to you. I'm sorry to everybody else. I don't
Who
like
has
you,
to do with your
909.
BM?
I don't like you, 909. Sorry.
Alright, Frank. Shoutouts?
Not really. Just what Ralara said, pretty much. You know.
Yeah, 909. You suck. That's right, Frank.
Yeah, especially the BM. You know, like always have to support Ralara in all his BM needs.
Oh man, there's no drama on House Party, and when there is, it's like Splash being a little girl in Twitch chat. So
Yeah.
let's make some real competitive drama where teams that actually matter talk about other teams that actually matter, and then the games are good.
Damn.
So here's my trash talk. Liver Clucky, you're going down. Make it a good game because we don't want to have a 3-0, and this is the first game Captain Flowers actually gets the cast of us, and he wants a good game.
Oh
So
my
don't
god,
let
I'm
us-
so excited.
Just don't let us trash you, please. Please actually put up a fight.
You know, I think it'll be a close series, but
I think so.
no bias. I have no
I
clue
just-
who's gonna win.
I have a habit whenever I say something, the opposite happens. So I'm just no, I don't give a shit about that guy. Liver Clucky, play your best.
Alright, everybody. Thanks for
I'm
watching
done.
the video, and we're out.
Thanks, Saw fans, especially you, Dave. I love you.